Docker architecture. Now we have the most important component of Docker architecture is Docker host. So Docker host is the actual machine. It could be local or could be remote where Docker engine runs and container get created. Yes, and all this happen with help of Docker Daemon. So Docker Daemon is the brain of the Docker that control everything on this Docker host. Whether we are building the images or creating the container, everything is done by Docker Daemon. And Docker daemon is called Docker D. Yes, so Docker D is the Docker engine. That's Docker daemon that do all this heavy lifting. Now let's quickly understand what are the different tasks can be done by this Docker daemon or Docker D. We already understood one of them is building the image. So as a client, when we run this command Docker build, then we pass our specification, and this request goes to the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon create the image. Let's say Ubuntu. So this create the image, and this image is stored on the local machine. And if you want, we can push this image also to the Docker registry using a command called Docker push. One important thing, these images, what you see here, these images are immutable snapshot. Okay, so these are read only. We cannot modify it. So if you want to modify it, then go ahead. You can do changes in your Docker specification, Docker file, then again build the image. Then this image will get updated. Okay, but this image itself you cannot change it. Now, next major task of this Docker daemon is creating the container. So Docker daemon creates the container and manages the containers. So when we run command called Docker run and then we pass the image, then using the image, it's go ahead and create our containers. And when it's create the container, then it's use host OS kernel, and also it's isolate this container completely from the other containers using namespace and cgroup. Yes, so using this, it makes sure our container is isolated. So this is the architecture and overview of the Docker. So what we understood here, we understood there is a three component of the Docker architecture. One is the CLI. So using this CLI, we interact with the Docker host, and Docker host has the Docker daemon, and this is brain of the Docker, and this is called Docker engine as well. And when we send any command, anything, so basically this interacts with the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon do everything. Whether we need to create the image, we need to create the run the container, start the container, stop the container, remove the container. So everything is done by Docker daemon and Docker D. Then we can store our images in Docker registry, and we can also use third-party images as well. So we can store and share our images.